President Obama took another stand against evil yesterday, lashing out at ISIS, pernicious gang crime and human rights abuses in left-wing dictatorships like Venezuela and Cuba. I was kidding. He went after Fox News again.
I think the effort to suggest that the poor are sponges, leeches, don't want to work, are lazy, are undeserving, got traction. And look, it's still being propagated. I mean, I have to say that, if you watch Fox News on a regular basis, it is a constant menu. They will find, like, folks who make me mad.
So let's analyze. He says Fox goes out of its way to locate and then demonize the poor. For what reason? So we can kill and eat them? His criticism is absurd because he never suggests a motive. FNC is always focused on policies that keep the poor, not the poor themselves. And that's scary to progressives like Obama, who fear that their ideology will be exposed as the culprit behind so much present misery. Identity politics, welfare policies, and the white liberal addiction to social intervention has helped replace enterprise with entitlement. And that has hurt the poor more than street drugs or police brutality. Which is why when FNC is critical of such policies, Obama portrays it as critical of people. It's to save his beliefs from the humiliation they so richly deserve. And remember, it wasn't FNC who ginned up class warfare.
I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
We've got to ask the wealthiest Americans and biggest corporations to pay their fair share. This is the land of opportunity. That's great. All I'm saying is that those who have done well, including me, should pay our fair share.
My preference, and the preference of most Americans, is that we ask the wealthiest few Americans to pay their fair share.
This abdication of responsibility embraces the toxic retribution of Occupy Wall Street, there goes my tongue, which seeks equality by crushing everyone under one boot. As a class warrior, that's Obama's common core. Finally, he says we need to change the way the media reports issues.
If we're going to change how John Boehner and Mitch McConnell think, we're going to have to change how our body politic thinks, which means we're going to have to change how the media reports on these issues.
Translation, agree with me and we'll be fine. After all, the only network he castigates is the only one that doesn't buy his spiel hook, line, and sinker. That's not an insult to us. It's a badge of honor. So, KG,
yes.
This is not the first time. This is like the 20th time he's gone after Fox. Is this wisdom or is it whining?
He just has a varsity envy. You know, I mean, look, we're his biggest frustration and his biggest failure all in one. He's frustrated by us on a daily basis, but we point out the truth and then let the American people decide. Decide for yourself so you're not spoon-fed all this stuff from the mainstream media. Look at the facts, look at what's really going on in this country, and make some informed decisions. It's unfortunate. I think it's not a good communication strategy, but we can ask my friend Dana Perino, see what she thinks, to constantly bring up something like this because it is demeaning and beneath the President of the United States to act like he's frustrated in the playground of politics.
By the way, thank you for helping me out with a word
You're
earlier.
welcome.
Hey, Juan, I want to play this other sound on tape from President Obama talking about rich sending kids to private school.
What's happened in our economy is that those who are doing better and better, more skilled, more educated, luckier, having greater advantages, are withdrawing from sort of the commons. Kids start going to private schools. Kids start working out at private clubs instead of the public parks. An anti-government ideology then disinvests from those common goods and those things that draw us together.
Juan, isn't he basically obscuring the idea of choice with class? That everybody should have a choice to go wherever they want to go. And he's saying if you do that, you're basically ignoring the poor. I don't get it.
Look, let me just say, they're so confused here because remember, Barack Obama's mom sent him to a private school in Hawaii, and then he went off to Occidental and Columbia and Harvard Law.
Yep.
But he is saying, and this is a popular argument among sociologists on the left, and Robert Putnam was there at Georgetown, and he has a book out about kids and how there's less common ground and less of the ability for kids to move upward and associate with upper income kids. I just think that it's misbegotten in thinking, because the fact is, if you have the chance, as you were saying, to send your child to the best school, am I supposed to tell you don't send your child to the best school?
That's amazing.
President Obama did.
Yeah, there's a certain arrogance here, Dana.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
That was like dripping with it. I also find on the school choice thing in particular, the call out against John Boehner is absolutely unnecessary and uncalled for. John Boehner is the one who actually went to bat for the D.C. school children so that they could have choice to go to better schools, and it was Barack Obama who wanted to block that.
Yeah.
Who was hurting black children then?
Good question, Dana. Hey, Eric, okay. Shouldn't other networks at this point be kind of angry that Obama never singles them out for doing their job?
Yeah.
It's like he's basically saying, I got no problems with you. You guys don't bother me.
Right. Josh Earnest this morning was also on MSNBC, and he reiterated the fair share argument. Unbelievable. Like, at some point, they'd say, we have to move away from it. It's exactly opposite of what President Obama is trying to say. He not only called out John Boehner, he called out Mitch McConnell. If we're going to change McConnell and Boehner, really? They're elected. We want them in there. You can't change them. If anyone should be changing, maybe you should change a little bit, President Obama. Private schools. He went to the best private schools, sent his kid to the best private schools. On Fox News, rabbit ears, why are you listening to us? Were you watching? Thank you for that. We can use all the viewers, and we'll take another one. And finally, the one thing that was really crazy, society, he called the people who've worked hard and made money and done well, society's lottery winners.
Yeah.
Not worked hard, earned, risked, and won, and did well. People who do well are lottery winners.
All right.